What's good? It's your boy Ben, and I'm back with another video. And the name of this video is going to be called "You Consumed Enough. Now it's time to start creating." Now, I seen this title on another video, and it kind of resonated with me. Why? Because think about it. How many times have you been just out and about, and you was waiting in the car, you was waiting in the doctor's office, you was at the bus stop, or whatever the case may be, you just had some downtime, and you found yourself just kind of like looking at your favorite content creator, right? And you know, it may be like a sense of satisfaction or a distraction, right? And a part of you like, man, that looked kind of easy. You know, I think I could probably do that. So why wouldn't you play with that notion or actually act on that notion, right? And just do it. Because, you know, we more or less are more consumers, right? We just kind of like buy into like people's, ideas or various different things, or their lifestyle or their reality or whatever the case may be, right? And you just kind of standing by and just looking at them, do their thing. Why wouldn't you do it yourself, right? So it's all on you at the end of the day. It's all on you. Are you gonna be a consumer or are you gonna be a creator? I'm definitely gonna be a creator. I'm definitely gonna try to put myself out here on this platform and kind of get some motion going, and hopefully I can pivot towards something else, right? But it takes a lot of courage. I definitely say courage, and nerves of steel to definitely kind of put yourself out there, because it hit different, man, when you walking down the street holding the phone and it like sideways, and people like, man, is he taping me? He recording me? Nah, I'm making this content. So I would much rather be a creator. And you gotta think about it, man. If you're a creator, and if you're making good content and you're getting the views and people tapping in or locking in what you got to say, man, that's awesome. That's magnificent, because people have invested their time in what you have to say, right? And you gotta think about that, man. You may be making a difference in somebody else's life, indirectly. They may be feeling like, man, like this, that I've been looked over for a promotion, right? Or they may be feeling like, this job market has been tough, man. I've been looking for jobs and I'm struggling, man. I just need to vent. I need to talk about this, man. I need to get this off my chest. And it might be therapeutic. I definitely say essentially it is kind of therapeutic for me now, because sometimes I be having all these thoughts to myself and they just playing around, they just in my head. I'm like, man, I gotta tell somebody, so I'm gonna tell you, my viewers, right? So, and they say people that actually create content are less depressed. And I definitely say I've been feeling a sense of accomplishment as of late, with my views going up and people like you tuning in to hear what I got to say. And I've been feeling really proud of myself, like a big pat on the back, right, so to speak. But I would much rather create content than just consume it. I remember during the height of the pandemic or like during the pandemic, we seen this content creator. His name was Lost LeBlanc, and right, and he traveled all around the world, and he actually had a course, right, where he shows you how to be a traveling content creator, right? And for a fee of like, man, I think it was on sale for like $700. It was even, I mean, for all what you got and what you potentially could do, man, it's phenomenal. And on top of that, being monetized and just traveling the world, man, it didn't really get no better than that. But I think it's one little caveat. If you never actually got in front of the camera and actually start talking to this bad boy, it could definitely be a challenge. And I think something like that, man, I think even just doing what I'm doing right now can be an option to pivot towards something like that. And you know, my wife, she thought about it, man. And actually, they gave you a little bit of a glimpse. They actually showed you various different things that they offered with inside the content creation deal with the whole package, right? So you get like a few freebies, man, to kind of just get a taste of, you know, what you could potentially be learning with the Lost LeBlanc content creation package, right? It was like a masterclass, so to speak, right? But you know, it was the fact that even then, me and the wife was kind of playing with the notion on getting on YouTube and making some content. And I know she wants to go to Bali, right? She want to go to Bali. We already went to Italy, right? And man, we was thinking like, yo, man, I wonder could YouTube actually take us around the world. You know, we did it with just grit and grind and working long hours at our jobs, but dang, could something like this platform definitely fund that? I definitely would say so. You know, we got content creators on here that's making, man, from as little as, man, $300. Shoot, $300, that can pay a bill or two. Or if you just let it grow, man, that can be a nice little savings. Or you can take that money, invest it, or whatever you choose to, or just stack it up. Stacking it up meaning is like, you know, just letting it build. So, you know, it's a number of different things, you know, that you can do with like an extra few hundred, man. That's you know, that can make us put a dent in something. But then again, there's other content creators that's making upwards to like thousands, man. 18,000, 10,000, 7,000. That could be somewhat life-changing money. You know, if it's coming in consistently or a little bit, you know, that can definitely, you know, kind of set you in the right path of just being like financially stable. I ain't say free, but it can put you financially stable, or you have like a little nest egg, you know. And they say a lot of Americans don't even have a nest egg. They say some of the average households don't even have upwards to like about $1,000 saved. That's insane, man. And think about it, man. We live in our lives day to day, you know, doing what we have to do day in, day out, and we don't have money put up. Then you got some people that strategically do it, you know, without even thinking about it, right? You know, hats off to you if you one of those. I myself, even at 44, I've learned to like actually put a little bit of money to the side and have a few thousand like saved up, you know. But back to the matter at hand, I definitely want to be a creator, and I definitely at some point in time want to get it so where this platform, man, I want to get to a couple hundred, man. A couple hundred. I'll be happy with like $100 at this point, because you know you got to put in that leg work. It's not gonna come easy. You know, it's pretty much like you paying your tuition, your YouTube tuition. And what I mean by YouTube tuition is like you're doing this for free, and you hope that somebody might catch a vibe, somebody may catch a wave, and just pick up what you're putting down, like what I mean, like as far as like content. And it's definitely a challenge, but at the end of the day, it can definitely be well worth it. Depending on what type of value your viewers are getting from your content. And just keep in mind, remember what I just said, what type of value your viewers are getting from your content, because YouTube is pretty much for the viewer. You gotta almost take yourself out of it and be there for the viewer. And you definitely adding value as a content creator, and people got to take something away from what you're saying. People, you got to solve some type of problem. You got to give some type of insight on a particular subject. You got to break down. And some people just don't know a lot of technological jargon or whatever. If you can pretty much break something down in layman's terms, like I'm a baby. Talk to a lot of them people. I done heard people say, talk to me like I'm a baby, like I'm a child, so I can really understand what you're talking about, right? And some people need that. And if you can do it in a way where you don't have people feeling like they just quote unquote just stupid, then hey man, you got an audience, right? And like I said, I'd rather much will be a creator than a consumer, but that's my time. And I hope that this title kind of resonated with you. So when are you gonna start creating? When are you gonna stop consuming? I mean, it's cool to consume, but when are you gonna start creating? When are you gonna get that sense of accomplishment and that sense of just like man, I did that. You know what I'm saying? That's me. Telling you how to do whatever it is that I'm telling you how to do, and you appreciate what I did. So if this video confirmed what you've been thinking, or you feel like, okay man, I'm ready to start creating, put a comment down below. I ain't gonna really ask too much for subscribers, man. If you felt that it kind of hit home for you, I appreciate it. If you subscribe, that'd be awesome. But if not, man, comment. I appreciate y'all tuning into what I gotta say, man, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.